Story 3. I said, break a leg at a funeral. My neighbor Margaret was nervous. She was about to give a speech. It was an important speech, a difficult speech. She had been preparing it for 3 days. I saw her standing at the door of her house just before she had to go inside. I wanted to help. I wanted to encourage her. I had been learning English idioms that week. I had a new phrase, a perfect phrase, one that English speakers use before a big moment. I smiled at her warmly. I looked her in the eyes, and I said, with full confidence, "Margaret, break a leg." She stopped moving. The 2 family members, standing behind her in the hallway, turned to look at me. Nobody said anything. Margaret looked at me for a long moment. Then she turned and walked inside without a word. I stood at the door, confused. I thought I had said something kind, something encouraging. But the room I had just looked into, the flowers, the dark clothing, the photograph on the table by the door. It was not a performance. It was a funeral. In this lesson, you will learn why those 3 words were so wrong in that moment. You will learn the correct English for serious and formal occasions. And you will learn something very important about idioms. Knowing the phrase is not enough. You must know when to use it. Repeat this sentence with me. I think I used the wrong expression. Good. Let's begin. Part 1. Context. My name is David. I moved to England from Poland 3 years ago. My English was good enough for work, good enough for shopping, good enough for conversations with colleagues. But the more I learned, the more I realized how much I did not know. Idioms were one of those things. In Poland, we have expressions too. Every language does. But English idioms are particularly tricky because the words sound normal, but the meaning is completely different. Repeat. English idioms can be tricky. Good. Tricky means difficult in a surprising or unexpected way. Something that looks simple, but is not. That week, I had been studying idioms from a book. I was proud of myself. I had learned 10 new expressions. I was looking for chances to use them in real life. Margaret was my neighbor. She was a kind woman, always bringing homemade biscuits to the street. We often chatted over the garden fence. One evening, she knocked on my door. She looked worried. She told me that her father had passed away. She said the funeral was on Saturday, and she was going to give the eulogy, the speech at the funeral, herself. Repeat. She was going to give the eulogy. Good. A eulogy is a speech about someone who has died. It celebrates their life. It is emotional. It is serious. It is one of the hardest things a person can be asked to do. I told her I was sorry, and I meant it. Saturday came. I saw Margaret outside her house just before the car arrived. She was pale. She was trembling slightly. She was clearly terrified. And I, standing at my door with my book of idioms somewhere in the back of my mind, thought, this is my chance to encourage her. Part 2. The mistake. Let me explain where break a leg comes from. It is a theatre expression. Actors use it backstage before a performance, before a play, before a concert, before any kind of public performance where someone is going to perform in front of an audience. Nobody is completely sure why. One theory is that in old theatre, breaking the leg line meant crossing onto the stage. So break a leg meant get out there and perform. Whatever the origin, the meaning today is simple. Break a leg means good luck, but only for performances. Repeat. Break a leg means good luck for performances. Good. Now, when I saw Margaret shaking at her door before giving a speech, my brain made a connection. Speech, audience, nervous speaker. This sounds like a performance, so I used my new idiom. Break a leg. But there was one enormous problem. A eulogy at a funeral is not a performance. A funeral is one of the most serious, most solemn, most emotionally painful events in a person's life. The language we use at a funeral must be gentle, quiet, careful, full of warmth and respect. Break a leg is none of those things. Even if Margaret had known it was just a phrase, even if she understood I meant well, hearing those words at that moment, outside her father's funeral, felt wrong. It felt careless. It felt loud. It felt out of place. This is what we call register. Register means the level of formality, the tone, that is appropriate for a situation. Repeat. Register means the right tone for the right situation. Good. Break a leg has the wrong register for a funeral. It belongs to a completely different world. Part 3. The correct expressions. So what should I have said to Margaret? Let's look at 5 gentle, correct expressions for serious occasions. Option 1. You'll do beautifully. This is warm. This is kind. It tells the person you believe in them, without the energy or loudness of an idiom. Repeat. You'll do beautifully. Good. Beautifully here doesn't mean it will be a beautiful performance. It means you will handle this with grace, with love, in the right way. Option 2. I'm thinking of you. This is perhaps the most important phrase in English for difficult moments. It tells someone, you are not alone. I am with you in my heart, even if not physically beside you. Repeat. I'm thinking of you. Good. You can say this at a funeral, after a loss, during an illness, before a difficult day. It is always appropriate, always kind. Option 3. Take your time. There's no rush. If someone is nervous before speaking, this is a gentle reminder that they do not have to be perfect. They do not have to be fast. The people listening will wait. Repeat. Take your time. There's no rush. Good. Option 4. I'm right here if you need me. This tells the person that you are present, you are available, you are support. Repeat. I'm right here if you need me. Good. Option 5. He would have been so proud of you. This is specifically for a eulogy situation. It connects the speaker to the person who has died. It gives them strength. Repeat. He would have been so proud of you. If this lesson is helping you, subscribe now, because next week we have another real story, another real mistake, and 10 new phrases you will remember for the rest of your life. Part 4. Why this happens now. Let's understand the deeper lesson from today's story. The phrase break a leg was not wrong because it was rude. It was not wrong because I had bad intentions. It was wrong because of register. Register in English means the level of formality and tone that matches the situation. English has many registers. Let's look at 3. Informal register. Used with friends, family, in casual situations. Examples. Hey, what's up? Catch you later. That's wicked. Break a leg. Neutral register. Used at work, with strangers, in everyday public situations. Examples. Good morning. Could I help you? I'll be with you shortly. Formal register. Used at serious events, in official situations, when showing deep respect. Examples. Please accept my deepest condolences. I am honored to be here. He will be greatly missed. Repeat. Every situation needs the right register. Good. A funeral requires formal register. Quiet language, careful words, no idioms, no casual phrases, no energy. This is why even correct English can feel wrong. If you say, "What's up?" to a judge in a courtroom, your English is correct, but your register is completely wrong. When you learn a new phrase in English, always ask yourself 2 questions. 1. What does this phrase mean? 2. When is it appropriate to use it? Repeat. What does it mean, and when do I use it? Very good. Part 5. Funeral and formal occasion. Vocabulary. Now let's learn real English phrases for serious, formal occasions. These are words and expressions that every English speaker needs, but many learners are never taught. I'm so sorry for your loss. This is the most common and most important phrase at a funeral or after someone has died. Loss here means the death of a loved one. Repeat. I'm so sorry for your loss. Please accept my condolences. More formal. Condolences means sympathy. You are expressing sorrow for someone's pain. Repeat. Please accept my condolences. He will be greatly missed. A way to honor the person who has died, to say that people loved them and will feel their absence. Repeat. She will be greatly missed. He was a wonderful person. Simple, warm, and always appropriate. You can add a specific memory after this line. Repeat. He was a wonderful person. If there is anything I can do, please let me know. An offer of practical support. After a loss, people often need help with small things: food, transport, company. This phrase opens the door. Repeat. If there is anything I can do, please let me know. I'm thinking of you and your family. Extends the care beyond just one person. Acknowledges the whole family is suffering. Repeat. I'm thinking of you and your family. Take all the time you need. Permission to grieve without pressure. Very kind and very important. Repeat. Take all the time you need. Part 6. Story resolution. After the service, Margaret came back. I was in my garden. I saw her walking slowly up the path. She looked exhausted but calmer. I opened my mouth to apologize, but before I could speak, she smiled at me, a tired, gentle smile, and said, I know what you meant, David. Thank you. I felt relief and shame and gratitude all at once. I said, I am so sorry. I used the wrong words. I am still learning. She nodded. The speech went well, she said. He would have been pleased. I thought about that for a long time afterwards. She had just done one of the hardest things a person can do. She had stood up in front of people who were all in pain, and she had spoken with love about her father. And she had done it beautifully. I did not need an idiom to tell her that. I just needed the right words. Repeat. I just needed the right words. Vocabulary review. Let's review everything from today's lesson. Break a leg. An idiom meaning good luck, but only for performances, theatre, concerts, presentations, never for funerals, hospitals, or serious occasions. Repeat. Break a leg, only for performances. Register. The level of formality that matches the situation. Informal, neutral, or formal. Every situation needs the right register. Repeat. Every situation needs the right register. You'll do beautifully. A warm, gentle way to encourage someone before a difficult moment. Repeat. You'll do beautifully. I'm thinking of you. One of the most useful phrases in English. Perfect for any difficult moment. Repeat. I'm thinking of you. I'm so sorry for your loss. The most important phrase at a funeral or after a death. Repeat. I'm so sorry for your loss. Please accept my condolences. More formal, used to express deep sympathy. Repeat. Please accept my condolences. He will be greatly missed. A way to honor the person who has died. Repeat. She will be greatly missed. If there is anything I can do, please let me know. An offer of practical support after a loss. Repeat. If there is anything I can do, please let me know. Take all the time you need. Permission to grieve, no pressure, no rush. Repeat. Take all the time you need. Tricky. Something that is difficult in a surprising or unexpected way. Repeat. English idioms can be tricky. Closing today. I taught you something that most English textbooks never teach. It is not enough to know what a phrase means. You must know when it belongs, what situations it fits, what register it carries. Break a leg is a wonderful phrase. I still use it. But now I know exactly where it lives. Backstage, before a show, with a nervous actor or a confident friend about to do something exciting. Not at a front door. Not in November. Not outside a funeral. The right words at the right moment. That is real English. Repeat one final time. The right words at the right moment. Excellent. Subscribe for next Wednesday's story. Because someone is about to walk into an office and announce something that will make their entire team stand up and stare. See you then.